So, Kev, you missed about a quarter of the season with that hamstring injury. You come back and you are literally perfect shot chart from the floor. You had teammates like Blake Griffin, guys who have been around, saying it's just crazy to see you come out like that with no rust. What is it about you or your game that you're able to do that?
I mean, my experiences in the league has helped me, once I take these long stretches with injuries, like, thinking the game, I think that helps me more so than anything. And, once my body catches up to speed with my mind, then, I feel as though I can go out there and perform.
Your mom, Wanda, was in the stands, the real MVP to the rest of America. She's probably been in the building for thousands of your games at this point. But what is it about the relationship between you two that makes it feel just kind of special every single time?
We had this conversation the other night, and it was just like when I was a kid, I was telling her, like, I could hear you in these gyms, you know what I'm saying? When as a 8, 9 years old, you're the loudest person in these gyms, and I was embarrassed as a kid, because she was screaming at me, telling me what to do. But as I got older, I was like, you know what? I enjoy having my mom supporting me as much as she did, no matter if she was critiquing me or no matter if she was, encouraging me. Just having her there, having her presence there, always meant a lot to me. So now when I see her at the games, I'm just looking over there like, you go, girl, I see you.
So James Harden was traded to Brooklyn in January. It's April now. You, James, Kyrie Irving have only played 7 games together. Do you see any potential issues rising come playoff time from not getting this regular season work in the way you might normally?
I mean, I see more issues if we're not focused, you know what I'm saying? If we're not locked in on the game plan more so than anything. Once we got a good game plan and, we follow it to the T, then you'll start to see stuff form, chemistry, if you want to call it, or just energy form around, like, us following what the coaches need us to do to succeed. I think things will work out for us, but we definitely want to get on the floor.
James was spectacular holding it down while you were out. Kyrie was in and out at times. He said at one point, quote, "I feel like I'm the MVP." Who do you think is the MVP?
I mean, like, I feel as though, the criteria changes every day. And, it's become an award where it's just 7 to 8, 9, 10 guys can win it any year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who? I mean, I don't know his story. Can he sell his story outside of his play? There's a lot of stuff that factors into it that really don't really move me. So, but he's playing at that level, and that's really all that matters. He stays at that elite level. But it's a lot of guys playing that well.
The MVP is supposed to be about a particular regular season, but then there's sort of that larger question of who is the most dangerous guy in the league right now. Do you feel like you have that crown? Do you feel like something has to happen for you to get that crown?
At one gym, I might be the best. At another gym, another guy might be the best. But it's just like, it's millions of gyms around the world, and this conversation is going to always keep happening, and nobody's going to get the title outright. So it's no need for me to even think about it. But I know what I bring to the sport. I know what I bring to the culture of the sport. And I feel like I'm accepted by all the real ones in the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's really all that matters. I get that respect, and that's what I've been playing for. And I want to continue to play for that.
I want to go back to when you were a kid, because there was a time when your favorite team was the Toronto Raptors. You loved Vince Carter. Is there any Vince Carter in your game? What about your game do you feel you took from Vince?
Probably the passion that he plays with. He's a unique player. You can't replicate that. But the passion that stood out to me when I watched him after he dunked, after he made a big shot, and how much he loved to play. You could tell he was excited, and that just made me go out there and be more free as a player when I was a kid. So I'm just like, if he expressing himself like that, then I think I can too.
And then now you got players coming into the league, like the #1 overall pick, Anthony Edwards, said that you were that guy for him. You were his favorite player. You were the guy he wanted to be like. How does that make you feel to hear that?
Old, for one, but I mean, I've been in the league for over 10 years now, so I'm 12, 13 years older than some of these guys, and now to see them, watch me when they were in elementary school and middle school is pretty cool, man. Because I was one of them kids, So hopefully I'm setting a good example by how I approach the game, and hopefully I keep inspiring people to play and watch the game.
There's a lot of talk when you and Kyrie and James first got together, people wringing their hands, talking about the personalities involved, or will there be enough ball on offense? it has been seamless. Why do you think it has worked not just well, but so well between the three of you?
I think our experiences with Team USA definitely help, because when you're in that environment, I wouldn't say you have to shrink yourself, but you have to really have to check your ego and figure out when you need to use it. We hold each other accountable when stuff happens. I think that's one of the things that helped us, learn how to play with each other. Because the second James got here, he was pulling us to the side, telling us, different things he sees out on the floor. I think our IQ for the game and our, communication has helped us thus far.
It's so interesting. It's different on every team, right? But when guys really trust each other and then they get in each other's faces, everyone takes it as a good thing. There are times you can be on a team where a guy's getting in your face and you start to feel some kind of way about it. How do you guys make sure first version on your team?
I mean, we don't have guys that take things personal. We understand we playing a game. We understand that life is also bigger than this. So, like, if I'm telling you to, like, get your ass in the corner, it's not that I don't like you. It's just that, that's what we need for this play to work. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody understands that on this team. And we all like hearing that from each other.
Well, we get to listen in on you guys sometimes with you, especially. You've really taken control of the media that you do. You've got your podcast. You had Draymond Green on this week. Steve Kerr's recent comments, they came up. Steve had talked about how draining it was to coach the Warriors in 2018, which is, of course, your last year there compared to coaching the team the year after. Now, Steve was upset later. He said that his comments were kind of oversimplified. You tweeted about them, though. You said that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Now that you've had a minute to hear everything and think everything, what's your take on all that?
I mean, I just don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you rather come into a game knowing you're going to lose, you know what I'm saying, rather than come into a game knowing you got a great chance to win. Like, it just didn't make sense to me, even though, like, you tried to frame it as if, like, the mental side of coaching this team and that team, but it's just, like, not really, because you rather win games than lose games, when you simplify it like that. So I just thought it was funny. And Steve is not a bad person for saying that, but I just thought it was one of those things that, he probably didn't mean to say.
You won 2 titles with Golden State. You and I sat down for a combo like this after you won your first ring, and you said something that has stuck with me ever since. You said that you thought winning would tie up some loose ends for you, or that it would be some sort of finish line of all the work you had done for so long. But then you got there and it didn't feel that way. It wasn't like this golden thing that was going to just make you automatically happy.
I wasn't expecting to be a happy human being from a title. I was just expecting, like, the ending of a movie. Once you work so hard and everybody tells you, like, yo, this is what you need to be working for, is this gold ball and these rings. And I'm just like, all right, cool. Let me lock in on that. And I locked in on wanting to achieve that. But I also realized it's a lot of stuff that factors in it that's out of my control. And once I won a championship, I realized that, like, yo, my view on this game is really about development. Like, how good can I be? It's not about, let's go get this championship or let's go get this gold ring. It's like, yo, how great can you be every time you step out on the floor? Because dudes who don't do nothing on the court become champions. Yeah. And dudes who don't contribute at all in any type of form or fashion can run around and hide behind the championship. But, like, I want to be a great basketball player. And, once I won a championship, I'm like, oh, that's what my goal is. Just to be great every day, not to be chasing some stuff that the humans created, you know what I'm saying, in a ring or gold ball. And I appreciate that stuff, and I want to win and experience that stuff, but it's not the end-all, be-all why I play the game.
Do you have in your mind any, like, perfect basketball game you can play if the goal is just to continue to evolve as a player? Is there some sort of golden game in your mind?
No, just being out there. I mean, I've been out of the game for 2 years and having anxiety about, like, damn, what I'm going to do when I get back. You know what I'm saying? Being out with an Achilles injury really have you thinking about the game differently. And my goal is just to be out there. Who knows what's going to happen when I'm out there, but I just want to be available. And I think that's all I really want out of this, is to be available and for as long as I can. And we'll see what happens in between the lines.
Guys have talked about that injury in particular can really mess with your mind. Obviously, it's physically particular, stating you got to work so hard to get back from it. But it does rob you for a little bit of knowing who you are as a player and creates that anxiety. Did you have that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you hear so much about the injury and you don't know for sure how you're going to come back and feel. You know, so I was trying to gauge it in my mind, and sometimes I would go too far with trying to figure that out, you know, and you know, and sometimes I had to relax and be patient with it. So I learned a lot about myself as a human being on top of the pandemic hitting at the same time. So it's like, I feel like I was going through a lot of just, you know, reflection and thinking about the future and just everything, but it all centered around being away from the game.
You've also been working on a lot of projects in this time as well. It's not like you've been sitting around just rehabbing. You were nominated for an Oscar, friend, executive producer in the short film category. The story speaks in part to the experience of a young Black man. Why did you want to do it? What do you get out of being involved with that kind of stuff off the court?
Well, I feel like I'm doing something good, you know, aligning with people that tell good stories, and I felt like that story was something that can resonate with a lot of people around the world, and wasn't expecting to win awards or anything, but I just wanted to impact and touch people with that, you know, what we brought to in front of the camera, and you know, people received it well, and you know, hopefully we continue to just, you know, have our hands on things that inspire people and change the culture, I guess.
You, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, you're all in the prime of your careers. You're here in Brooklyn with the superstars. Your office, you got a Hall of Fame coach on the sideline. Do you think this could be a dynasty that you're building here?
I love what we're building. I think the culture and the spirit around the game is something that we try to cultivate from day one, and everybody brings their part to it, you know, and everybody's valuable. You know, we love from the starting guy to the last guy on the bench, we all value each other's input. So, I mean, if we create that, that's good enough. And like I said, that's just the foundation. And whatever grows from that, we'll be happy with. But I think we're setting that foundation up as a whole organization from Joe Tsai all the way on down. And, you know, we're just trying to create something pretty cool for people to watch and for us and for players to come play in.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.